main event of the day. It's the first of the League Cup semi-finals, live from Hampden Park. It's the holders Celtic up against Kilmarnock with Pat Bonner, Cammy Bell and Alistair Lamont.
Thanks very much, Kenny. Welcome to a wet and blustery Hampden as Celtic look to continue the defence of a trophy they've won 5 out of the last 6 seasons, while Kilmarnock came to replicate the shock they produced a decade ago in the final. Few give them a chance of success this afternoon against Ange Postecoglou's seemingly unstoppable machine. Beaten 2-0 at Celtic Park last weekend, you have to go back to 2018 for the last Kilmarnock victory in this fixture. The flares of the Celtic fans away to our right die away as the smoke billows around Hampden, making it difficult to see the pitch from up in our gantry in the main stand here on the south side of Glasgow. It's quite the atmosphere inside Hampden this evening. Vast swathes of the stadium taken up by the Celtic fans, around 6,000 Kilmarnock supporters away to our left, hoping for something of a miracle. This would be quite a moment for Killie to change their run of luck in this fixture. Celtic haven't looked like slipping up too often this season, just once against St Mirren in domestic football. It's their only loss domestically in the last 28 matches, going all the way back to the defeat here against Rangers in the Scottish Cup semi-final at the tail end of last season. That is a feeling Ange Postecoglou says he doesn't want to feel again. The sense of loss in a semi-final. The smoke's still really obscuring our view here up in the heights of Hampden Park as Kilmarnock will go from left to right and kick us off in this first semi-final of the weekend. We're underway. Kilmarnock looking to produce an almighty surprise as Bernabei quickly makes the challenge on Kyle Lafferty. And Kilmarnock trying to come forward down the right-hand side, and it's Danny Armstrong picking up against Starfelt. Early ball in, it's not far away from Vassell inside the 6-yard box. Excellent start from Kilmarnock, but Cammy Bell Vassell just unable to turn it into the net.
Yeah, it was a brilliant start from Kilmarnock. Ball down the side, and that man Danny Armstrong just cuts back onto his left foot, whips the ball in. For me, the striker needs to get across, and it would have been a tap-in, but a brilliant positive start from Kilmarnock.
Well, they exploited that full-back position, didn't they? Because Bernabei was right in midfield attacking the ball, and they exploited that space, and Daniel Armstrong, really good and positive start from him.
It's a Kilmarnock player down off the ball, and play has stopped, and Bernabei was involved in the scenario that has led to Alan Power down clutching his face. And inside the first minute we've had a fair amount of excitement. Kilmarnock chance, and now an off the ball incident which even the TV cameras because of the smoke find it difficult to establish exactly what's happened.
I think he just caught him in the face as he got away from him. It's hard to see, of course, even on the TV monitor in front of us here, very hard to see because of the smoke and that, but it looks like he's just kind of tried to get away from it. He drew out his hand and caught him in the face. I don't think
there's Danny Armstrong, the Kilmarnock player, who's going to have to come off after a bit of treatment here. Willie Collum, the match referee, will restart proceedings with a drop ball. A couple of minutes gone inside Hampden, and it's a raucous evening. Celtic will get the drop ball, no action to be taken as Danny Armstrong waits to come back on. The ball's played forward and back into Kilmarnock's possession, and Sam Walker will knock it long just from outside of his penalty area. Lafferty just brushed off the ball by Starfelt. Kilmarnock scrapping away in the middle of the park, forward by McKenzie, down the right-hand side. Armstrong looking to get on the end of it. Bernabei has let him slip past him. It's Armstrong from the goal line, and he's won the corner off Carl Starfelt, and Danny Armstrong looks in the mood. Killie clearly looking to use him down this right flank.
Yeah, brilliant again from Danny Armstrong. They identified that could be the area that Kilmarnock will look to exploit. Danny Armstrong in behind Bernabei, and he's cut onto his left foot, and I maybe thought he could have picked somebody out, but he's won a corner, and again really positive, but again probably worrying for Celtic in that position.
Corner kick to be taken by Alan Power, right-hand side, right-footed. The Irishman swings it into the penalty area. The header comes in, but it's well wide of target. Liam Donnelly at the near post, getting on the end of it. And no real concern there for Joe Hart, who plays his first match in this season's League Cup. He's played every other game this season, other than the 2 League Cup fixtures. Benji Seagrave's preferred in the previous rounds, but he's not in the squad. And it's Joe Hart between the sticks, having won this competition with Celtic last season. Ange Postecoglou's first, of course, as Celtic manager, and it really set them on a positive trajectory for the season. But Celtic yet to get going in the game, 3.5 minutes on the clock. Kilmarnock have had slightly the better of it in these opening exchanges, but of course you know that Celtic are going to create chances, and plenty of them, you would imagine, as Hatate though is brushed off the ball by Donnelly. It has been a bright start for Kilmarnock, just what Derek McInnes would have wanted, as Vassell does battle up there with Cameron Carter-Vickers midway inside Celtic's half. Forward come Kilmarnock down the left hand side. Jota getting back to make the challenge there on Crescent, and Celtic pick up. It's Juranovic, right hand side, finds Moy, preferred once more to O'Reilly in the Celtic midfield, tries the switch of play for Maida. It's out of play, it'll be a Kilmarnock throw in. 4 minutes in, Celtic nil, Kilmarnock nil.
Yeah, well, Kilmarnock just know when they won the ball, the out ball for them is into the full back positions, whether it's on the left or the right. And that time it was a diagonal across onto the left hand side for Vassell, and he had great support from the young Lewis Mayo, but I thought he could have put the cross in early, and he kind of hesitated and just allowed Jota to get back. But a good start, I've got to say, from Kilmarnock, and their tactics are spot on.
I think you're right as well, Packy, that again you look at Vassell, where he's sitting defensively, he's sitting on Callum McGregor, so he's trying to nullify his play. Between him and Kyle Lafferty, look as if they're going to split that job.
Here's Starfelt 5 minutes in as Celtic come forward for more or less the first time in the game. Kyogo gets his first touch on the ball. He's well challenged though. Kilmarnock have it back. It breaks off Kyogo into the arms of Sam Walker, who was beaten a couple of times at Celtic Park last weekend, but had a good game. Generally speaking, Kilmarnock were well organised and would consider themselves a little unfortunate to concede right on the stroke of half-time to that Jota goal, which changed the way the game flowed in the second period. Celtic were utterly dominant second half and might have had more than the one further goal they did add through Ash Taylor's own goal. Celtic have a free kick midway inside their own half.
Yeah, but Kilmarnock did very well in that first half, and it was much more a defensive formation than today. It's very much about getting the ball into good areas and almost hitting Celtic on the counter-attack, and if they've given it away.
Yeah, Celtic have given it away, and it's McKenzie, 25 yards from goal, goes for goal. Oh, it's a really good save from Joe Hart, and it had to be, because that was heading into the bottom corner. Down to his right, Joe Hart went to tip it round for a corner.
I'll tell you what, that was a really good save. Two goalkeepers sitting here, and he was in a great position, about 5 yards off his line, down sharp to his right hand side, because that was a good strike and it was right in the corner, and he had to make the big save, Cammy.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Rory McKenzie. Again, he steals the ball, drives forward, and there's nothing else in his mind apart from getting the shot away, and it's a fantastic save from Joe Hart.
Yeah, it got down well. Here's the corner, left hand side, flicked on at the near post by a Kilmarnock head, but no one to win the second ball at the back post, and Maida will pick up over on the near touchline, the Celtic left, as we look at it from high up in the main stand. Celtic haven't really started in the game so far, and Kilmarnock will have their spirits raised as a result of that. They've started the game very well, as they would need to do if they're to take anything from the game, you would imagine.
Yeah, well, I think they've pressed Celtic quite well in the middle of the pitch also. They haven't sat right back and defended their 18-yard box. They're higher up the pitch than they were last week, and it's been paying dividends so far for them.
Ash Taylor knocks it out of play as Maida and Celtic try to come forward, getting on the end of Bernabei's pass. It'll be a throw into Celtic to be taken by the Argentine Bernabei, who Kilmarnock, it looks like, have pinpointed as someone they can try and exploit with Danny Armstrong, their most potent threat. Here's Carter-Vickers stepping forward, just manages to keep possession. Takes it back from Juranovic, out to the right hand side now for Jota. Jota trying to step over to get away from Crescent, plays it short to Moy, right hand side, comes off the Kilmarnock player and out for a corner. Celtic's first of the game, the first time that Celtic fans have been able to have something to get behind as their side come forward. Corner kick to be taken by Moy from the right-hand side.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of attacking options in that for a corner. It's only
Moy's corner comes in. Carter Vickers can't get on the end of it, knocked away by Ash Taylor.
Yeah, just going to say it's only Starfield and Carter Vickers really with O'Reilly out of the team. They don't have a lot of height, and it shouldn't be a problem for Kilmarnock to defend those set pieces.
Here's Moy, clips it into the penalty area. Jota can't get there, knocked away out on the far side by Joe Wright. Playing left centre back for Kilmarnock. They've reverted to a 4. It was a 5 at the back effectively at Celtic Park last weekend, but a change of shape as well as 3 changes to the personnel for Derek McInnes' side this afternoon. Here's Juranovic motoring down the right-hand side, almost at the goal line, gets the ball into the box. Taylor keeps his eye on it, makes sure of the clearance, and then it's knocked further away by McKenzie over the halfway line. Lafferty won't get onto that. It's out for a throw-in on the far side. Celtic throw, it will be quickly taken into the feet of Cameron Carter Vickers, another League Cup winner last season, in his first season at the club. And here he is in possession, picks it up off Starfelt, a couple of yards inside his own half, plays it square, back once more to the Swede, Starfelt. Hatate now knocks it back to Starfelt once more, who'll come forward into the Kilmarnock half, plays it short to Bernabei, who's well advanced. Hatate now back to Starfelt. Kilmarnock got plenty of bodies behind the ball, making it difficult, as they did at Celtic Park in that first half, to penetrate. Starfelt picks up. Derek McInnes trying to get instructions onto his side as Celtic come up to the edge of the penalty area. Slip through for Maida into the 6-yard box. He goes. Good challenge by Ash Taylor. Behind for a Celtic corner, and Celtic just creeping into the game, Packy Bonner.
Yes, and you know, that threat in behind, of course, is where Celtic get joy with little penetrating runs, little penetrating pads. They take their moments, they wait for it, and that time it was good defending from Ash Taylor.
Jota's corner, left-hand side, right-footed. Starfelt gets the header, might fall for Kyogo. Comes back to Starfelt, can't get his shot away. Kilmarnock clear. They scramble it away out of the penalty area. Celtic looking dangerous for the first time in the game. 10 minutes in, no goals. McGregor out to Jota, who's still out on the left-hand side for the moment. It's a good little slip in for Bernabei across the face of goal, and no takers inside the 6-yard box. Celtic turning up the pressure now. Hatate on the right-hand side. Picks up once more on the right touchline, into the feet now of Jota. He can't bring it under control. Mackenzie just tries to slip in Vassell, but it's back in Celtic's possession. Carter Vickers picks up, knocks it back to his goalkeeper Joe Hart, who's midway inside his own half, well outside his penalty area, and the pass is forward for Starfelt, and now picked up by Bernabei. Leaves it for Starfelt once more, just inside the Kilmarnock half now. Picks the pass for Moy, who gets turned midway inside Kilmarnock territory, out to Maida, left-hand side of the penalty area. Tries to play the 1-2 with Moy. Now it's into Hatate, just on the edge of the D. Bernabei, just outside Kilmarnock's penalty area. Moy picks up, left-hand side, it's McGregor. Picked up now by the Argentine fullback Bernabei. Celtic beginning to dominate the ball. Juranovic just coughs up possession momentarily to Mackenzie, but Celtic have it back once more and beginning to exert their authority, as you expected they would do.
Yeah, they're just taking their time, getting their passes away, that 1-2 touch passing, but they've just lost it in the middle of the field. And this is where Kilmarnock can hurt them with the pace of Armstrong, who's on the ball just now.
Celtic getting bodies back, but it was careless though in the midfield. But Lewis Mayo trying the ball forward. It's a rather aimless one. Thought he did well last week for the most part against Maida, until he was caught out with a through ball for the opening goal, Packy. But it was a good contest between the Rangers loanee and Dyson Maida.
Yeah, listen, you know, he's a young man, Mayo, and it's a pace. I think Maida's come back from the World Cup really strong. Sometimes he doesn't have maybe a trick in him to beat the defender, but he beats you with pace, and I think he started off the games now that I've seen him since he's come back to the World Cup really strong.
Yeah, he has that. He had a really good World Cup as well for Japan, and has come back full of the enthusiasm and energy you would expect. Here's Starfelt allowed to advance. The Celtic fans perhaps urging him to try the shot, but instead he tried the pass for Hatate. The 1-2 didn't come off, and Kilmarnock cleared up to the halfway line. Here's Juranovic picking up for Celtic, out to Jota on the right hand side, up against Chrisen. Gets the cross into the penalty area. It's Wright who gets the header away. Picked up there by Callum McGregor, couldn't bring it under control. Crescendo has given up possession to Callum McGregor, and now Jota, right hand side of the penalty area, tries to find a teammate but can't do so. Liam Donnelly in the way, and he just takes a couple of touches, then finds Crescendo, who clears it upfield. But Kilmarnock all of a sudden can be finding it difficult to keep the ball.
Yeah, again, that transitional period, when they get the ball, they're giving it straight back to Celtic, and that's what they can't afford to do. The first 2 or 3 minutes they were getting success because they were playing it down the wings, and Danny Armstrong was on his bike getting on to the end of things. But at the moment they're just giving Celtic possession back for them to attack again, and if they do that, Celtic will continuously hurt them. They're giving up a lot of space to Starfelt. There's at some point somebody needs to come forward to him and put pressure on him, but it seems as if they're unsure whether it's a defender that steps in or a midfielder at the moment.
And I think that might be down to the manager at times, because I watched him when he was at Aberdeen. He can almost give people jobs to do. You go man mark and stay with your player, and then when somebody steps forward into that position, do I go or do I not go? That's the problem.
There comes a point that obviously at the centre halves they seem to be giving up Starfelt and Carter Vickers the opportunity to come forward with the ball, but there comes a point when you're 30 from goal that somebody needs to engage with the ball.
14 minutes on the clock at Hampden, the first of the weekend's League Cup semi-finals. It's Celtic 0, Kilmarnock 0. Celtic, having started the game rather slowly, are on the front foot for the most part, but here's Armstrong coming forward for Kilmarnock, gets the ball into the penalty area, headed away by McGregor, comes out to Mayo, little spin. Armstrong was well offside, he knew he had to leave that or else it would have been a free kick to Celtic. In the end it's a throw-in deep in their own territory, quickly taken by Bernabei on the Celtic left. Down the flank it goes to Maida, little ball inside for McGregor. Now Hattati, not far outside of his own penalty area, trying to hold off Donnelly. Bernabei is there, plays it square for Carter Vickers. He was caught there by Donnelly. Willie Collum pulls it back for a free kick, and he'll have a word in the ear of Liam Donnelly.
Yeah, I think a little bit of retaliation there because he got caught himself, I think, just moments before that, Donnelly, yeah, he just took out his retribution on Barnaby, but it's just a stern talking, which is good refereeing. 15
minutes then played at Hampden. Nothing to choose between the sides as yet. As Carter Vickers picks up possession, looks for Jota over the top there. Crescendo goes back with Jota. Lovely first touch by Jota. Can he get the cross away? Crescendo just nudges him in the back and just showed enough physical presence there to put Jota off balance. Couldn't get the cross in. It'll be a Kilmarnock goal kick. Celtic 0, Killie 0.
Yeah, good defending from Crescendo there. I think he got caught a little bit underneath it. Jota, he got a yard on him, but he's done well to get back and put pressure on him and just do enough that the ball runs out of play and gets a goal kick for Kilmarnock.
Sam Walker to take the goal kick, having won his place from Zach Hemming.
We were just talking about him before the game. He's such a big guy, 6'7". I don't know what that means in meters. I'm from the older brigade, but certainly he's a huge man. He made brilliant saves last week against Celtic, but he also made, for me, was the big mistake, the first mistake to allow Celtic that first goal. So today he'll be looking to revenge that and not make any silly errors, but come up with the big saves when necessary. So far he hasn't been tested.
No, but Joe Hart has. He produced a brilliant save to deny Rory McKenzie as Jota slides the ball forward. Too much on it though for Juranovic, who'd ventured forward into the Kilmarnock penalty area, and it's easy for Sam Walker to gather. And Kilmarnock just taking their time, having started the game very brightly. Celtic have certainly come more into the match, and Kilmarnock just want to take the sting out of that just if they can, as Walker clears down the right hand side. It's won by Lafferty. Starfelt though picks up and finds McGregor, who in turn plays it to Juranovic, about 15 yards inside his own half to Moy, and now Jota on the right flank, infield for Juranovic. Juranovic has got goal side to McKenzie. McKenzie was rather dragging him back there, and Willie Collum spotted that and has awarded Celtic the free kick just about 10 or 15 yards outside the penalty area, right over on the right hand side, but a promising situation for Celtic to try to exploit.
Yeah, he just got caught in the wrong side, McKenzie, on that occasion. It was good, little bit of passing play from Celtic, and he had to just almost use his hands to stop the Celtic player and give away the free kick. It's just a little bit wide on that sort of right hand side for them to have a direct shot on goal, so it will be a ball played into the box. Aaron Moy over the ball.
Yeah, the Australian international, another who had a very impressive World Cup and has really made himself a mainstay in the Celtic side. It's a dangerous ball, and it's in the back of the net. It's Dyson Maida who's claiming it looked like it might have come off a Kilmarnock player last. Kyle Lafferty looks askance. Dyson Maida celebrates, but it looks just as it was last weekend when Ash Taylor turned the ball beyond Sam Walker, as though Kilmarnock have scored their own goal. It's Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
And I did say that Kyle Lafferty will be a handful in both boxes. Unfortunately for him, it looks like it came off him and his own box was back in net. It's played in to the back post. Oh, it's come off his foot, actually. You know, he's obviously lost his whole orientation inside the box, and has come off his foot at the back post. Decent ball in, but one maybe I would expect maybe the goalkeeper actually to come and deal with. It's on the 6-yard box.
It's horrendous luck again, Packy. When you're watching it back, you can see it's a decent ball into the box, and Kyle Lafferty's actually clearing it out of danger and away from the goal, and it's came off Maeda. He's behind him, and it's then went in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's just come off Maeda, actually got the last touch on it, so he'll get the credit for it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's the luck that Kilmarnock needed tonight, was all that luck to try and avoid them situations, and for me, Kyle Lafferty was trying to do the right thing and clear the ball. Maeda's came on the blind side, it's hit him and went in the back of the net.
Yeah, I apologise to Kyle Lafferty because I think you were right. He almost got cut face his own goal, and all he could do was just almost help it on, but Maeda was on his blind shoulder and it came off almost off his chest into the back of the goal. I'm just wondering whether the goalkeeper could come there, big 6'7", for that ball into the box. What are you thinking?
Yeah, you look at his starting position, he was very, very close to his line, so whether he's too close to his line, but you're right, it was an opportunity, it was a high ball into the box, so you maybe look at the goalkeeper.
Kilmarnock have a chance to respond here, a free kick of their own. Alan Power swings it in from the right hand side. It's a free header, and Joe Hart makes the save, although it was a pretty tame effort in the end. And it's gone out, I think, for a corner over from the far side, but realistically it should have been a better header. Lewis Mayo, I think, getting on the end of Alan Power's free kicks. A free header here.
Yeah, he just goes into the box, and again, nobody picks him up. He's sort of 6-7 yards out.
Oh, it's Joe Wright, isn't it?
Doesn't get enough on it. He needs.
Here's another header coming in. This one's onto the roof of the net. Kilmarnock threatening an equaliser straight away, but neither effort ends up beating Joe Hart.
I don't know whether listen, it's one of them nights tonight, the wind is swirling around the place, but you would expect them to get a really good solid header with power, and Kilmarnock winning the ball back again in the edge of the Celtic box.
Yeah, well, it's been a good response from Kilmarnock to the loss of that goal from Dyson Maida. His second goal in the League Cup this season, and his 7th all told. There's a touch of fortune about it, certainly, of the ball just brushing off him from Lafferty's attempted clearance. Here's Josip Juranovic driving Celtic forward out to Jota, right hand side of the penalty area. Into the box he comes, Portuguese across, goal, and that's not far away, but again no Celtic player could get on the end of it. It remains after 21 minutes, Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, just going back to that big chance for Kilmarnock again, you know, he's jumped, he almost just let the ball come off his head rather than almost directing it into the corner, and he got no power whatsoever, and had nearly confused Joe Hart, and he just had to palm it away. But it was a big chance for Kilmarnock. They've had a few in this game so far.
Yeah, a huge opportunity. I think you're right, Packy, that he just needs the power header. That if he gets enough on it, he's 7 yards out, it's going to cause Joe Hart real problems, and he just doesn't get enough purchase on the header. So another huge opportunity for Kilmarnock. We said before the game that they need to take their chances when they get them.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for a better opportunity than that. Joe Wright, 6 yards out, a free header, but as you say, Cam, he couldn't get the purchase on it, no real power in it, and it remains 1-0 Celtic after Dyson Maida's goal. Ball played forward by goalkeeper, but Kyle Lafferty's been penalised for his attempts to win the ball, and it will be a Celtic free kick, and a word for Kyle Lafferty from Willie Collum.
Yeah, he doesn't need to use his arms or anything, Kyle Lafferty, because they're playing it down on top of Burnaby, who's pretty small compared to Kyle Lafferty, and he's a handful. So just stand there and just almost flick things on and get people in support around you. Don't give away silly fouls.
Quarter of the way through the game, And Celtic have the advantage, the early advantage, which you always feel is so crucial. But Carl Starfelt has given it away to Kyle Lafferty, who's spotted Joe Hart off his line, but it's well off target from Lafferty, much to the delight of the Celtic fans. But that's 3 or 4 occasions Celtic have given the ball away in daft areas, Packy.
Yeah, he stepped in tight and in top of Kyle Lafferty, just hold his ground and let Callum get a better angle, but he's almost got tight to Kyle Lafferty, and the angle was and the distance was too short, and he gave the ball away. But he's lucky that he was on the halfway line.
Yeah, Lafferty with the ambitious efforts, which once in a blue moon, that will end up in the back of the net. But Joe Hart was relieved to see it fly off target from the halfway line from the Kilmarnock striker. Celtic have possession just on the edge of the centre circle in the Kilmarnock half. It's Carter Vickers playing it square for Starfelt, and out to the left hand side to the goal scorer Maida, up against Mayo, about 20 yards from the goal line. Looks to play the 1-2 with Bernabe. Good defending from Mayo, and he was just nudged in the back by the Japanese winger, and it will be a Kilmarnock free kick just on the edge of their own penalty area to the right hand side. 1-0 they trail, and I suppose if you were to give Kilmarnock any chance, Cammy, it would have been to get the opening goal in the game. So it's a really long way back from this, but they've been well in the game so far.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough task and a tough ask now, but they've responded really well since they've conceded that goal, so that's a positive. And before that goal, they were well within the games. They've had 2 huge opportunities, one that's produced a fantastic save from Joe Hart, and another one that Joe Wright needs to do better with a header. So they're well within the game. The next goal is really crucial for Kilmarnock. If Celtic get that, it will be game over, so they need to hang in there at the moment.
Power climbing above Hattati to win the header in the middle of the park. Back comes Maida to Rob Donnelly, and then it's Moy picking up, turns away from McKenzie nicely and plays it forward for Maida. Hattati looking for Kyogo, just miscues his attempted pass there, and his Japanese compatriot can't keep it in play, and it will be a throw into Kilmarnock about 10 yards away from their own corner flag over on the far side. The Killie left to be taken by Ben Crescent, the left full-back. Down the flank it goes. It's Lafferty trying to help it on. Vassell, who we've barely seen in the game, heavily challenged there by Starfelt, and Kilmarnock will get the free kick, but 10 yards inside their own half.
Yeah, he doesn't need to go into that foul. You know, Vassell's going nowhere. He's just trying to hold the ball up, and he just drags attention to himself from the referee, who's having a stare and chat with him. Obviously, Willie Collum doesn't want to book anyone early on in this game to give himself maybe a big decision to make later, but certainly you don't want to be good into silly tackles. Next one, you're in the book.
Yeah, it was good physical play by Vassell to hold Starfelt off, forcing the Swede to effectively come through the striker to try and win the ball.
But there's no danger there.
Not in that position. Absolutely unnecessary. Kilmarnock have it. Forward it comes from McKenzie. Carter Vickers though nods it down just on the edge of his own box. Juranovic picks up, back to Carter Vickers once more. Square for Starfelt, and Killie just drop off the play, content to allow the Celtic centre halves possession where they are. Here's Juranovic, still about 20 yards inside his own half. Was it short for Bernabe, who just tugged back there, did lose possession, but pulling the jersey. Bernabe asking for a yellow card from Willie Collum. He better watch himself, or he'll end up getting one himself, as Hattati tries to get past Armstrong. He does just that, just about, and then plays it off Donnelly, and it'll be a Celtic throw-in just in front of Derek McInnes's technical area. Hattati robbed by Donnelly, but by foul means, and Celtic will have another free kick just inside the Killie half.
Yeah, there's a bit of aggression at that Killie midfield today, with Donnelly and with Power and Lafferty obviously coming back to help when he needs to do so. Plenty of aggression, which sometimes you need against Celtic. You got to upset them a little bit.
Callum McGregor just having a bit of a word, I think, with Hattati on that occasion. Just, it seemed to be the notion that Celtic are just taking too many chances in the middle of the park with giving away possession needlessly when there are passes on. Here's Mayo just about keeping the ball in play up to the halfway line. McGregor nods it down. Hattati finds Moy, turns back towards the halfway line, and it's Carter Vickers out to the right hand side to Juranovic. 27 on the clock, 1-0 Celtic. Dyson Maida with the opening goal. Jota flicks it neatly back into Juranovic and then gets the return ball. He's kept it in play, but he can't really force the cross to a teammate, and Sam Walker comes off his line and grabs that inside his 6-yard box. It was a lovely link up though between Jota and Juranovic.
Yeah, it was great play, great 1-2, and a little flick round the corner and just a little bit too much pace on the ball, and Jota obviously couldn't get the cross in of any quality, and the goalkeeper quite happily picked that one out of the sky. Armstrong
races away down the right flank. Was he fouled? He claims to the assistant he was, but didn't seem to be too much in it, and Celtic play on. Carter Vickers picks up just on the edge of his own penalty area. Forward for Moy, who's tracked by Power. Out to Jota it goes, midway inside the Kelly half, coming in from the right hand side away from Crescent. Hatate powers forward, can't quite take it in his stride, and it breaks kindly for Kilmarnock, and it's Crescent who's able to come away with possession. Kyogo was backtracking there, takes the Kilmarnock fullback out of play and gets a word in his ear from Willie Collum as well. Kilmarnock free kick inside the centre circle. 28.5 minutes played. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, it was good defending again from Donnelly. He slides in, makes a great challenge, and Crescent travels with the ball really well. I think he's looking for Danny Armstrong to go in behind, and that's what I want him to do, is go in behind that fullback. He came short, and Crescent obviously felt the foul coming in from him, but I think if Danny just takes that run down the line, that's where they've had their joy in this first half, so they need to try and exploit that even more.
Sam Walker taking the free kick about 10 yards back from where the offence was committed for some reason, but he's allowed to do so. Vassell nudges it back inside the penalty area, but can't find a Kilmarnock teammate. Kelly in their blue and white striped kit, the white shorts and blue socks. Celtic, of course, in their green and white hoops, white shorts and white socks. This afternoon at Hampden, almost half an hour played. Celtic with a slender advantage, but Kilmarnock giving as good as they're getting for the most part so far.
Yeah, they'll be happy. And one way they'll be disappointed they're a goal behind, of course, from a set piece. You wouldn't expect it. I didn't expect it from them to lose a simple set piece. But from a point of view of aggression, being in the game, I think they've done well, and they've created some very, very good chances. I've got to say, this is a long throw, which again they can exploit.
Ash Taylor to take from the right hand side in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Up goes Starfelt, but it looked like it came off. The Kilmarnock player last, Joe Wright, was in there again, looking to add height and danger, but Celtic survive quite comfortably and take the goal kick. It's Juranovic picking up on the right hand side in towards Moy. Back the way he goes to Carter Vickers on the edge of his own penalty area. Lafferty trying to close him down, but the pass is played to Starfelt, who can bound forward to the halfway line. The second goal for Celtic, as Cammy suggests, would surely put the game beyond Kelly. As Hatate picks up in the midfield, back the way to Starfelt, rather careless looking pass, but he gets it back to Hatate, quickly closed down though by Vassell. He's doing some good work there, coming back off the front to try and cause problems for the Celtic midfield, but Moy gets it to Jota, right hand side, the cross comes in, and it's Power going back there to knock it behind for a Celtic corner as the half-hour mark comes and goes. Celtic corner from the right hand side. It will be 1-0. The holders lead. Willie Collum is signalling something, not entirely clear what, but the corner will be taken by Aaron Moy from the right hand side. Celtic looking to extend their advantage. It's Starfelt who gets on the end of it, can't get the shot goalwards, and Kilmarnock managed to clear their lines, but again, back here was saying there wouldn't be too much of a threat from Celtic from set pieces. That was a half chance for Starfelt. Here they come once more. It's Moy on the right hand side, and he slices his attempted cross straight behind goal, and it will be a Kilmarnock goal kick. 31.5 on the clock. Celtic 1, Killie 0.
Yeah, I think it's conditions more than anything else. You know, there's a swirl and wind out there when they play balls in. It's not almost going into the area that you're trying to hit. It's always turning away from people, and it's very difficult to judge for both teams in both boxes.
I think it's Mayo that's picking up Starfelt from the set pieces, and I think that one he got kind of blocked and Starfelt dropped off, so that's something that Kilmarnock will need to identify and fix, because that could cause them problems going forward.
Here's Armstrong right hand side for Kelly. Bernabei unable to cut the ball out, and Armstrong picks up, finds Donnelly, squeezes it through for McKenzie, who might just be onside, plays the ball into the penalty area. Starfelt's in the way though. Maida gets it clear on the far side.
I'll tell you what, Mackenzie got into a great position there. And all he does is play that ball across the 6-yard box. But again, it was a poor cross. Hits the first defender when he should have bypassed him.
That position's perfect for the one in between the defenders and the goalkeeper. And it's such a dangerous position, as you say, Packy, that Rory Mackenzie just doesn't get it right. But it was another good opportunity for Kilmarnock.
Just power inside the Celtic half. Mackenzie lets it run for Lafferty, who was offside. The flag going up against the Northern Ireland international, and Celtic quickly take the free kick square across their own 18-yard box. Starfelt has it and plays it to Carter Vickers. 13 minutes, 12 minutes indeed of the first half remaining at Hampden. Celtic lead by a goal to nil. Dyson Maida, the goal scorer, didn't know too much about it, but Celtic will take it. Here's Juranovic midway inside the Kilmarnock half, out to Jota, up against Chrisen. Slides it forward for Juranovic, back to Jota once more. The Croatian fullback who's attracting interest from any number of clubs across Europe, if reports are to be believed. Will he still be a Celtic player come the end of January? That is a question.
Well, I think he's much sharper today. He's comfortable on that right-hand side. You've seen him bombing forward so far.
Throw in quickly taken by Juranovic for Moy. Moy gets it into the edge of the penalty area. Maida couldn't bring it under control. It was a tough one to control, and he couldn't do so, and Kilmarnock clear the line. Starfelt plays it to Carter Vickers midway inside his own half. Forward now for Bernabei, and back with Starfelt. Vassell just dropping off Starfelt, allowing him to come up to the halfway line. Quite happy, it seems, Kilmarnock to allow Starfelt to have possession.
Yeah, I think of all the defenders, I think he's the one that you would leave the ball with a little bit more and try and force him onto his bad foot, and maybe put that little pass that he plays at risk at times, and you might get it back off him.
Carter Vickers, he comes forward over the halfway line. He's allowed to advance out to the right-hand side now. The ball goes for Jota up against Chrisen once more. Comes in on the left foot, tries the little reverse disguise pass for Juranovic, but it was too much on it. And Wright clears it away well over the halfway line. It'll be a Celtic throw-in. Just over 10 to the break. Celtic have the 1-goal advantage.
Yeah, with Kilmarnock playing a back forward, they've obviously got two almost wider players. They can push that a little bit higher up the pitch and put Celtic under a wee bit more pressure higher than they did last week. When you're playing with wing backs, you're almost forced into a back five, and there's lots and lots of space. So I think they've done better by putting Celtic under a wee bit more pressure higher up the pitch today.
Starfelt just gets away from Vassell. He's well advanced. Starfelt finds Hatate, who's struggling to bring the ball under control. Moy though comes and helps him out, edge of the penalty area, trying to find room. It's Maida who picks up, now Jota. Moy once more, about 22 yards from goal, out to the left hand side it comes. Bernabei into the box, comes off Jota, and it will simply be a Kilmarnock goal kick with just under 10 minutes left to the break. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, again, good defending from Kilmarnock. They got a lot of bodies in behind the ball there and made sure they defended the box when the ball came across. But Kilmarnock have been very disciplined in this first half. I think they've got the shape bang on. It's very unfortunate that they're 1-0 behind. They've had great opportunities, but you can see that they've looked at Celtic's shape, and Cal McGregor, Vassell's dropping in, Kyle Lafferty's dropping in to nullify his play. So they've got it really right for me so far. But they need to keep this concentration levels up for the full 90 minutes, and they need to take one of these opportunities they're going to get.
Yeah, well, listen, last week in the first half they defended well, but they didn't create absolutely anything. Today they've created really, really good chances, and when they're playing with those players in a wider position higher up the pitch, they're able to get in behind Celtic at times, and you'll know that the Celtic fullbacks want to get forward, and the space is there. So they have created those chances, but they haven't been able to take them, as you say, Cammy, and that's the failing today, much more than not creating, which was a problem last week.
Break and play here as Liam Donnelly receives treatment inside his own penalty area. It looks like the left calf that is being treated, and it might be that there's a change enforced upon Derek McInnes and Kilmarnock. Liam Donnelly's had a hellish time with injury over the last 2 or 3 years.
That would be a real pity, because he has given them a bit of strength in the middle of the pitch. He's put some strong tackles, and maybe he's come out the worst in one of those tackles, I'm not too sure, but certainly he's jogging to the sideline. I think he should be okay.
Liam Polworth was certainly being prepared. He would be the man to come on for Liam Donnelly if he can't continue. Play will resume with a Kilmarnock goal kick. 8 minutes left of the opening period here at Hampden. Celtic leading by a goal to nil as Kyle Lafferty, who took an opportunity to change his boots with that break in play, wins the header above Starfelt. It breaks for Power. Now it's Mayo forward. Donnelly comes back onto the field of play as Starfelt turns the ball back to his goalkeeper Joe Hart, who was forced into that early save by Rory McKenzie. Hasn't been overly troubled since, although Joe Wright should have tested him more than he did with a header just after Celtic had gone in front through Dyson Maeda.
Yeah, but it was a really good save, and that's Joe Hart's, I think, real positives, that he comes up with the big saves at the right. Even when he's not getting a lot to do, he's able to produce the big save.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant addition, certainly, from Celtic's point of view last summer. As Jota picks up for Celtic, comes in off the right flank. Now it's Hatate about 25 yards from goal, tries to find Jota once more, who come into the penalty area. There just was no way through for the pass, and Kilmarnock cleared it over the halfway line. Starfelt quickly has to find Carter Vickers with Kyle Vassell closing in. Back with Carter Vickers, and now Jota, a little nutmeg, gets it back from Bernabei and then out to the left hand side for Maeda. Jota was taken out of play in the middle of the park, but play continues as Bernabei sliding it forward. Hatate leaves it inexplicably, and it goes behind for a Kilmarnock goal kick.
Yeah, the two midfielders making the same run into the same space, obviously trying to get in behind and getting each other's road, and the goal kick goes to Kilmarnock. Just settle down the game, and Kilmarnock are doing the right thing. They're playing every single ball. They're not building from the back at all. They're playing it up over the halfway line into the sort of almost Celtic's left back position for Kyle Lafferty.
Goal kick taken by Walker, flicked on by Mayo. It finds its way to Danny Armstrong, who's fouled by Alexandro Bernabei. Looked like a shoulder charge there from the young Argentine, but Willie Collum saw fit to award the free kick, and Kilmarnock will have the opportunity to send in the set piece.
Yeah, and that's what they want. They want to get into that sort of Celtic attacking third where they can win free kicks and create those set pieces that could be a threat to Celtic if they get the good delivery into the box.
In a similar area from where Alan Power sent in the free kick that gave Joe Wright the earlier opportunity. Armstrong leaves it again. It will be Power, right hand side, swings it in again. It doesn't quite fall for Vassell this time. Ash Taylor over there trying to make something of it, but can't do so. Carter Vickers calmly tidies up at the back for Celtic, but it was a dangerous ball in once more from Power as the rain lashes down in the south side of Glasgow. The conditions are awful, you have to say, out there for the players. The wind is swirling around as well, but players just getting on with it. It's Kyle Lafferty swung into the Kilmarnock penalty area. It's Maeda back there to head clear from just inside the box. Kyogo hasn't seen too much of the ball, gets it back to Moy just inside the Celtic half. Now it's Juranovic. Moy once more, and now the Croatian takes over once more, but 10 yards inside his own half. Forward for Bernabei, tries the pass forward for McGregor, breaks off a Kilmarnock player for Hatate. Out to the left hand side is Maeda with the early ball in, too much on it for any of his teammates, goes all the way out on the far side for a Kilmarnock throw in on their left hand side. Just under 5 minutes left in the first period. Celtic leading by a Dyson Maeda goal to nil.
Yeah, again it was Maeda out on the left hand side. He just gets too much on it. I don't know if the wind and the conditions played a part in that, but he sent it right over to the far side for a throw in. But yeah, conditions are horrendous here at Hampden. The wind looks as if it's swirling around, so yeah, it's difficult for the players.
Carter Vickers wins the header, but Kilmarnock pick up in the middle of the park, and then Armstrong taking it out of play. They could have had an advantage there, but Willie Collum was a little bit smart with his whistle, and Kilmarnock have to take the free kick. He
didn't expect him to get up so quickly and turn in and travel with the ball, but Willie can be a little bit quick at times with that whistle, and frustration for the Kilmarnock fans, because he was getting forward into a good position, driving forward and showing that ability that he has.
Sam Walker again just pulling the ball back about 10 yards from where the offence took place, and knocks it long up with the intention of finding Ash Taylor, but it's good play by Aaron Moy, who kills it with brilliant close control, and then plays it off the Kilmarnock player and wins his side a throw in over on the far side, midway inside his own half. 3 minutes until the interval. 1-0 Celtic lead. You listen to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. We'll have highlights of the Premiership action later on for you on Sports Scene on BBC Scotland, 7:30. The goals from this one will also feature on that. As Starfelt picks up, crossing the halfway line out to Hatate, and back it goes to Carter Vickers inside the centre circle. Plays it short to Juranovic. Juranovic just inside Kilmarnock territory. Starfelt now for Celtic, out to the left-hand side. Maida looking to take on Mayo. Sliding in goes the Kilmarnock fullback. Thought he got enough on the ball, and Willie Collum, you're saying he takes usually blows quickly. Willie Patty took a good few seconds to decide that was going to be a free kick.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at it here on the monitor in front of me. Yeah, no, he didn't catch.
He doesn't get
the ball, and I think it was the right decision from Willie Collum that time.
And this is danger for Kilmarnock as we approach half-time. Aaron Moy just a few yards in from the left touch line, about 25 yards from the goal line, will have an opportunity to swing the ball in. And Celtic look for a second goal. They struck late at Celtic Park last weekend. Can they get a second just before the interval this afternoon? It's gone all the way over towards the far side. It's Hatate picking up, knocks it back to Juranovic. Here is the Croatian getting it back from McGregor. Out to the right-hand side, Hatate, more or less in line with the 18-yard box, nudges it back to McGregor. Right-hand side, trying to get away from McKenzie. Jota comes back in support of his skipper. Now it's Carter Vickers. Celtic work it back the way. Starfelt just on the edge of the centre circle, plays it square once more to Carter Vickers. The players will be looking to get in and get a bit of a dry and a heat as Carter Vickers comes up towards the edge of the penalty area. Bernabe and Kyogo can't make much of it as Kilmarnock clear the lines up to the halfway point. Starfelt wins the ball back for Celtic. McGregor takes over on the halfway line inside the final minute of the first 45. Shouldn't be too much in the way of added on time, I shouldn't imagine. There was a stoppage for the injury to Liam Donnelly, but not much more than that. Starfelt has possession, plays it square to Carter Vickers. Certainly Celtic have been the dominant side, but Kilmarnock have had a couple of good chances themselves in this first half as McGregor comes forward, out to Jota on the right-hand side. Hatate then links with McGregor. Cross from the right-hand side, headed away at the near post by Donnelly, and Celtic will have a late corner in the first half, quickly taken by McGregor. 3 minutes added on. Jota with a chance to cross in from the right-hand side. It goes beyond Maida and beyond Bernabe. The wind and rain playing havoc with the ball as Bernabe picks up on the left-hand side, finds Maida. Well challenged this time by Mayo. Almost to the halfway line, it's Starfelt picking up. Mayo and Moy now for Celtic.
Really important period this for Kilmarnock. They can't afford to lose anything just before half-time, so they need full concentration in the next sort of 2 or 3 minutes before Willie Collum blows the whistle.
Hatate back the way to Starfelt, just inside his own half. Clips it forward up towards the edge of the penalty area. It's Vassell getting back there to ensure Callum McGregor couldn't pick up, knocks out for a throw-in to Celtic on the left-hand side in line with the penalty area. 18 yards out, Bernabe takes the throw-in and gets it back from Hatate and goes back the way to Carter Vickers. 15 yards or so inside the Kilmarnock half. Now Juranovic just on the edge of the centre circle, plays it square for Starfelt, who again is allowed to advance up towards the edge of the Kilmarnock penalty area. Hatate back for Moy. Now it's McGregor, plays it square for Juranovic, midway inside Kilmarnock half. Out to Jota, right hand side for Celtic, looking for that second goal before the break. Deep into stoppage time, Jota gets on the end of a 1-2 into the penalty area it comes, but wayward again with the cross, and it's Armstrong able to clear up towards the halfway line again. It's Celtic who pick up though. Kilmarnock finding it very difficult to hold on to possession.
Yeah, when players are getting into those really good positions in the wide area, it's very difficult to hang across up. The one that's just taking the ball away, yes, it can be difficult for defenders, but it's also difficult for accuracy from the wide guys.
Certainly has proved to be so in this first period. Celtic have the advantage, and here's Starfelt looking to try and add to it. as Kyogo comes deep, picks up possession, finds Jota, and now it's Bernabeu just on the edge of the penalty area. Hatate picks up once more. Maida, left-hand side, Hatate, edge of the box, tries to clip that for the run of Maida. He's well matched by Mayo, breaks for Moy though. Now Hatate, left-hand side of the box. Celtic looking for a second, just inside the penalty area. What can Hatate provide here? Into the 6-yard box it comes. Taylor clears it off Mayo, and it's going to be a late Celtic corner in this first period.
Kilmarnock are just desperate for that half-time whistle. You can see Derek McInnes jumping up and down, trying to get that message on to his team that they just need to hang in this last minute of this first half so he can get his team talk under control. It's a big moment, this, the corner here.
Yeah, in the last seconds of the 3 minutes to be added on, as Mayo picks himself back up after being winded by the clearance from Taylor. It's Moy, left-hand side, curls in the corner. Walker was impeded, I think, in there. The free kick is given Kilmarnock's way inside the 6-yard box, and that'll be pretty much that for the opening period at Hampden. It indeed is Willie Collins' half-time whistle. It was a bright start from Kilmarnock, who inside 6 minutes tested Joe Hart. Rory McKenzie pulling out a good save from the Celtic keeper, but it was Celtic who made the breakthrough. 18 minutes in, it was an Aaron Moy free kick, came into the penalty area. Kyle Lafferty at the back post, trying to clear his lines, trying to knock it behind for a corner, but inadvertently played it off Maida, who was lurking behind him, and that deflection took it beyond Sam Walker in the Kilmarnock goal to give Celtic the advantage. Just a minute later, Joe Wright had a brilliant chance to respond for Kilmarnock, but his header from Alan Power's free kick was a tame one and an easy save for Joe Hart, and from the corner Liam Donnelly headed onto the roof of the net. That's been pretty much that in terms of Kilmarnock effort. Celtic have dominated the ball, dominated possession, but haven't been able to add to their lead. So at Hampden, in the first of the League Cup semi-finals, it's Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
The Scottish League Cup.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
Where Scottish football lives.
I'm Claire Grogan, and this January I'll be playing the songs that have soundtracked my life on BBC Radio Scotland. If you were to come to my house for a party, I would absolutely insist on putting this playlist on. I used to honestly run down the middle of empty streets, bellowing it out. Join me for 3 episodes with the music and albums that have inspired me, along with some new artists and some really unexpected stuff.
Life Tracks with Claire Grogan, Friday night from 6 on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
So Celtic in control, 1-0. They lead Kilmarnock in the first of the League Cup semi-finals at Hampden Park. Just looking at the stats in that game, Celtic 80% possession, 4 shots to Kilmarnock's 5, 1 on target for the home side, 2 on target for Kelly. They certainly had their chances, but Celtic are ahead. Tom English, thanks to a goal from Daisen Maeda. What's your overall assessment of that first half?
I think Kilmarnock take an awful lot of credit for what they put into the game. You're talking 80% possession, Kenny, yeah, but Celtic have done very little with their 80% possession. A lot of huff and puff. Kilmarnock have had the better chances. I know they're 1-0 down, and that in itself was slightly fortunate. There's the Celtic goal, but Vassell early on in the first 15-20 seconds, very close to sliding one in. McKenzie, Joe Wright, good chances for Kilmarnock. Celtic beyond the goal haven't really tested the goalkeeper. They haven't really asked Kilmarnock a whole lot of questions with all of that possession that they've had. I think Celtic have been kind of on top, but Kilmarnock have had the better chances. Now you have to factor in the weather. It's not a good spectacle. It's very, very difficult to make it a good spectacle. The weather is absolutely foul, as foul, I have to say, as some of the things that some of the Celtic fans have been singing constantly in that half. But it's a difficult night's football. It's a difficult night on the years as well.
Tom, looking at the Celtic team, do you see a weakness down that left-hand side with Bernabeu and Starfelt?
I do, yeah. I think Armstrong had first 7 or 8 minutes. He had a really, really good opening 7 or 8 minutes. got in behind Bernabei for the Vassell chance. Excellent. We skipped past Bernabei as well, about 2 or 3 minutes later. You know, Bernabei is an attack-minded player, but he's defensively weak. He's small. He's defensively weak. Starfelt, I think, has been absent-minded a couple of times. Carter Vickers has been very, very good. He's a rock back there, but there is weakness around him. And Kilmarnock are just not good enough at the moment to exploit that, but they're putting an awful lot into this game. They're a lot better than I thought they would be, Kilmarnock. I think Derek McInnes has really set up his team extremely well, and Celtic are nowhere near their level. You know, Jota is not figuring, Kyogo is not figuring. Even Maeda, again, he tries his heart out, he scores the goal, but he hasn't really figured all that much. It's an interesting one. It's a tough game, brutal conditions, but Kilmarnock have adapted well, I have to say.
Pat Bonner, your thoughts? As Tom said there, the conditions undoubtedly a factor. Kilmarnock have played a big part in this first half. What though do you put a lacklustre, is that fair to say, Celtic performance down to?
No, I think the conditions have a lot to play in it, but I think Kilmarnock, the change of shape of Kilmarnock, going to a back four, pushes two wider guys higher up the pitch. They've been able to exploit early on those spaces that maybe the Celtic fullbacks normally leave. I think they've also been able to compete a wee bit higher up the pitch early on. They've been pushed back later in the second half, or in the first half, there's no doubt about it. And Celtic were just sort of almost hoping and waiting for that maybe space to open up to get their second goal, and they did have a lot of possession. But early on in this game, Kilmarnock had the best chances. So I think it's down to the shape that Derek has deployed, and I think it suited him. He's gone obviously with Kyle Laverty. We discussed whether he would have the legs. He's done okay himself, and Vassell has almost worked hard to try to nullify Callum McGregor in the middle of the pitch, and they've done it to a point, and they haven't been able to maybe get as much I suppose good passes from McGregor to maybe almost exploit spaces higher up the pitch. When you go and press, there will be spaces left behind. The back four's pushed up, but I haven't seen Kyogo run in behind once in the game so far, maybe because they haven't been able to hit that pass for him because they've been in the Celtic players' faces. So I think the tactics have been good from Kilmarnock, and has allowed them also to create chances, which is the key, because it's a semi-final. It's not about trying to get a draw here, it's about staying in the game, but also you've got to score, and they have created. But if you don't take your chances, then you're maybe almost after the game thinking, what is it? We've done so well, but we haven't been able to score, and we've given up the big chance. So getting that goal is critical for them, and they have to take their chance.
They've created nothing, Pat. Celtic.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Absolute nothing. It's amazing. You know, it's a League Cup semi-final. 45 minutes of football. Any 45 minutes of football, you would expect Celtic to create chances. And when they haven't, the goal that they got was fortunate.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was going wide off Lafferty.
I'm just watching a replay now, Tom. A lot of people on Twitter, as they do, are suggesting the ball hit the arm of Maeda. I've watched it several times. I could do with Leanne in here, to be honest. I hate making these calls. But, you know, obviously, I presume there'll be a soft check and nothing given, but
Mikey Stewart is down in front of me here. He says it's not a penalty.
Well, he'll be right.
It's nothing. Not a handball. It's nothing.
I don't think it was. I think if it's
close
come
to
off,
I don't think it was.
And I think it's just obviously, and you've got to give credit to Maeda for getting into that position, because he never gave up on it. Normally at that point in time, you might have said, well, it's going to be cleared, but he just followed in, and he was in the right place.
Listen, it's a huge slice of luck for Celtic. For me, again, if there's any criticism, does Kyle Lafferty should probably look over his shoulder, know Maeda's there, but that's been hypercritical for me. He's done the right thing in trying to divert it away for a corner. Very, very fortunate that Celtic have scored that goal.
Because if he leaves it go, Cammy, and Maeda knocks it in, everyone's going to say, why didn't you clear it?
Yeah, so again, it's very, very fortunate.
The only, you've got Sam Walker in the goal. He's a big 6'7" goalkeeper, and maybe the conditions didn't allow him to come for it, but when that ball comes across your 6-yard box and it ends up so close to your back post, I'm just thinking, could he have started higher up the pitch and almost be able to protect his goal, but also maybe come and get a fist on it, do something to help your back four, and that takes away the problem then.
But Derek McInnes, his team is 1-0 down. but he'll be really, really enthused by what they've produced in that 45 minutes.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
The chances they've created, the kind of unrest that they've caused in the Celtic defence. He'll be thrilled with the attitude of his players.
Yeah, and Tom, I'm just looking at the chance again. McKenzie was a really good strike.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a brilliant save down low to his right hand side. He picked up a brilliant position, Joe Hart. He was 5 yards off his line as McKenzie struck that ball, and it was right low into the corner, and he got a great hand to it. So he did a great job for Celtic, and you couldn't criticise McKenzie because he won the ball, drove forward, and struck it very powerfully.
He's up against a very, very good goalkeeper. But
yeah, he pulls out the big saves, doesn't he, when required?
Absolutely, he does. You know, he's top notch. He's one of the most significant signings of all the Postecoglou signings. Hart is right up there.
I think the header from the
good chance.
I think that was probably right in the middle of the goal. Yep. And he's not put any power in it. He just let it almost come off his head. If he put any power whatsoever on that header, he would have been able to direct it better. He's almost just let it hit him, and it's just bounced.
Would you allow for? I mean, we see the wind,
maybe,
the wind and the rain out there. You maybe allow for that, but it was again a big chance.
It was right on his forehead.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't that he was really stretching or anything for it. It was right on him as a centre half. You would expect him to put that in the back of the net, and that was another big chance. The best chances fell to Kilmarnock.
Every time Armstrong gets it here in a bit of space, Bernabei is in trouble. So I mean, just feed him. I know they're trying to feed him, and it's hard to get the ball off Celtic sometimes. But Armstrong looks in the mood and looks dangerous.
So, from a Kilmarnock perspective, Cam, you said it in commentary, and Pat's touched on there. The shape's very good today. The change of shape. You spoke about the discipline, as Tom said. Despite the scoreline, there'll be a lot of positive messages from Derek McInnes in that dressing room right now.
Yeah, definitely, Kenny. Again, they've been very good. They've been good value this first half. They've had the better opportunities. Listen, Celtic have had a huge amount of possession, and Kilmarnock have been very disciplined, sat in, made it hard for Celtic. I think you need to give Kilmarnock credit that first half. They made it hard for Celtic and difficult for Celtic to create opportunities. Their only opportunity for me really was the goal, and again, there's a huge amount of fortune in that goal for Celtic, but Kilmarnock, we said it before the game, when they get opportunities, they need to put the ball in the back of the net, and it's took a fantastic save from Joe Hart. I've seen that save back on the TV, and it's behind Joe Hart when he makes the save and claws it round the corner. It's a brilliant save. And then Joe Wright, he needs to head the ball. He needs to put some purpose in that header towards the goal, and he would have scored. But yeah, Derek McInnes' team talk will be more of the same, disciplined. They need to keep full concentration, because I expect Celtic to come out the second half and come with a real sort of pace and power at Kilmarnock. But Kilmarnock know where they can exploit them. Down these flanks, when Celtic are advancing with the ball, Kilmarnock need to do that transitional period and break on them quickly and get Danny Armstrong on the ball as much as possible.
Would you expect maybe that he might introduce Jordan Jones into the picture with that pace? Would you know, maybe take Lafferty off eventually, he'll run out of legs, but Vassell higher up the pitch with his pace, and maybe play Jordan Jones in an area where he can actually go and support him.
Yeah, I think Jordan Jones comes on, he has to come on in a more advanced area in the pitch, because for me the problem is with Jordan Jones is I think he can switch off. I think defensively Kilmarnock have done really well, and if they switch off, they know that Celtic can punish them. So they need to make sure they've got guys on the pitch who are 100% focused and continue to do that defensive, disciplined work that they've done in the first half.
So it's Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0 in the first of the League Cup semi-final. Still very much game on there. Maeda with a goal on 18 minutes, but Kilmarnock have certainly had their chances. A terrific save from Joe Hart to keep them out. Tomorrow in Sportsound, it's the second of the semis, Rangers against Aberdeen.
The Scottish League Cup. Live on Sportsound from BBC Radio Scotland.
What a goal!
Rangers versus Aberdeen.
Every Rangers manager has to do well in every competition. This is my first cup game of the weekend. I'm a very lucky man. I get to play in a semi-final in my first cup game.
People remember the winners of the cup, and we have to give ourselves every opportunity to progress even further and give ourselves a chance of actually lifting the trophy.
For some teams in the Premier League, winning might be getting into Europe. Here, you have to go and win trophies. I'm aware of that. That's what I've come here to try and do.
We're extremely disappointed how the game panned out in the last league fixture.
Go Rangers! It's Aberdeen 2, Rangers 3.
We have to believe we're capable of going there and winning. It's as simple as that.
Brilliant again from Rangers.
That is a dream
have to believe in any game that you go into that you've got a chance of winning. You know, otherwise, what's the point?
We're only focused on winning this one. When we get to the final, whoever joins us there, that will be another challenge for us.
Yeah, just very briefly, Cammy, looking forward to this one tomorrow. There's a real rivalry, as we know, between these two sides. How do you see that one going?
Yeah, listen, it's a brilliant match, and one really to look forward to. Again, I think just the way that Rangers are playing at the moment and the occasion that they've got, it looks like they're going to be facing Celtic if this continues the second half. So for me, I think Rangers will have enough to get over the line, but it's going to be a difficult match for them. They're going to have to play their best. Well, we shall have that for you on Sport Sound tomorrow. Our focus this evening is in the first of the League Cup semi-finals. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. Daizen Maeda with a goal on 18 minutes. How will the second half pan out? Let's find out in the company of Pat Bonner, Cammy Bell and Alistair Lamont.
Cheers, Kenny. Yeah, a couple of changes there for Kilmarnock at half-time as Liam Polworth and Christian Doidge enter the fray. I think it's Kyle Lafferty and I assume Liam Donnelly who have gone off. Donnelly was struggling in that first half with an injury towards the end. And Lafferty, as we know, has been out for a long time, 10 games. He's been out of that ban. And clearly not match fit. He put himself about in the first half to no great avail, it has to be said, as Celtic get us back underway. So a double change for Kilmarnock, no changes for Celtic as yet. And Alan Power trying to grapple there with a couple of Celtic players to get the ball clear. Willie Collum helps him out by awarding a free kick to Kilmarnock. Cammy, in terms of those changes, do you think they were tactical at all, or do you think they're more or less enforced upon Derek McInnes? Yeah, it looks as if probably for me they've been enforced on Derek McInnes. I think Kyle Lafferty has run his legs out in that first half. He put a lot of work into it, and obviously we've seen Liam Donnelly struggling with a calf injury. So for me, they've probably been enforced, and they'll be hoping that the two substitutions that come on can perform to the way that they did in the first half, because they're going to need a big performance in the second half to get back into the game. Yeah, as we said, first period, the next goal utterly crucial. Kilmarnock simply can't afford to concede it. Remember, extra time and penalties if required this evening. I can't say the conditions would lead me to be desperate for another half an hour or so, but I'm sure Kilmarnock fans will be quite happily accepting of that if it meant that their side ultimately went through to the final and came back here next month for a meeting with either Rangers or Aberdeen. Carter Vickers has it just outside of his penalty area, back to Joe Hart, who made that really excellent save just 6 minutes in. And I mean, I like it so often, Packy, he's not often called into action, but when he does, for the most part, he's stepped up with some big saves. Yeah, and that's what you've got to do as a Celtic goalkeeper. I've been there. You know, there are lots of games you don't have a lot to do, but you've got to keep your concentration, keep your ability, and you've got to train that way also at times to make sure that you're ready. And Joe just, with all that experience, just fits that bill perfectly. I've seen lots of goalkeepers come to Celtic, and even going to Rangers, the big teams, maybe from other clubs, produce lots and lots of saves and games with a smaller team, and then when they go to the big team, they need activity, and they can't produce it when they're not active, and that's where, look at I'm trying to remember the name of the Celtic goalkeeper that came from Greece, and he Barkas, sorry, and he just couldn't make the save. He just couldn't make it. Celtic have started this second half moving the ball about pretty sharply, sharper than they did in the first half, it strikes me. But they've lost possession. It's Doidge doing well, feeds Vassell on the right hand side of the penalty area. Vassell looking to hold it up and then plays it off Starfelt. There will be a Kilmarnock corner. It looks like Ange Postecoglou has demanded of Celtic that they start zipping the ball about with a better tempo, but they've got a corner to defend here. Yeah, but what they don't want to do is put the ball at risk in front of their own defence and then almost giving away silly set pieces. Sloppy again from Celtic. Again, good pressing from Kilmarnock in a really high position, pressing and putting them under pressure, and they've won a corner from it. Corner kick to be taken from the right hand side. It's Power sending it in, free header. It's Doidge who goes up. Maeda gets it clear. There's claims in there, I think, for a handball, but it's a free kick to Celtic in the end. That's another free header. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Absolutely, about 8 yards out
free header. I'm just wondering whether it was a handball from the header, or was there...
No, I think it's a handball from
the header. He's offside.
From Polworth.
I think he might have been offside also. But certainly a free header.
Here comes Moy at the other end, coming in from the right-hand side up to the edge of the penalty area. Finds Juranovic. Juranovic tries to stab it goalwards. It's going to break for Hatate. And the offside flag goes up to deny him. He wags the finger and celebrates in any case as Hatate knocks it in from 6 yards out. It will, of course, be checked, as every goal is these days in Scottish football. And Celtic think they've got a second goal. Hatate is sure of it. Willie Collum has the arm raised to say it's offside. Let's have a look at the replays packet.
Yeah, it looks offside to me in a first instance there, Al. When you see it, it looks as if he's just drifted offside. And it's a deflection. It would be a really fortunate goal if it was to stand.
Yeah, it'll be checked, and it's being checked at the moment, as we know, but I'm just trying to look at it again. He's offside. Well, it's come off the defender, though. I think he's offside in the first.
It's offside when it's initially
struck, so I think it will be called offside.
Yeah, Juranovic pokes it goalwards. It's not going anywhere near on target, but it comes off a Kilmarnock body into the path of Rio Hatate, who gleefully knocks it into the empty net. But he was in an offside position when the ball was initially struck by Juranovic, so I think the Kilmarnock intervention is not a deliberate act, and I think that will be the crucial factor. And indeed, the goal is chopped off for offside, much to the dismay of Rio Hatate primarily, and the Celtic fans round about us, who thought their side had gone 2-0 up. But there was a chance just seconds before that at the other end for Christian Doidge, Cammy, who found room in the penalty area.
Yeah, he certainly did. It was a good ball into the box. And
here's Armstrong. He's done well against Bernabei, and it requires Maida to come back and help his fullback out and knock it behind for the corner kick, because it looks like Danny Armstrong's getting the better of Bernabei out there.
Yeah, he's holding his width really, really well, and that's what we said in the first half. Get out to Danny Armstrong, get him one-on-one against him, and he's got the confidence, the skill to beat him and put good deliveries into the box. But going back to the last corner, it was just Christian Doidge. He just got away from his defender, 2 yards, got a header, and unfortunately hit a Kilmarnock player.
Alan Power to send in the corner kick from the right-hand side. A near post ball. Vassell gets something on it. It's not behind for another Celtic corner at that near post. And Kilmarnock feel that there is a way back into this game for them. There's a big gulf between the sides in terms of the league positions and on so many different levels, but they trail just by 1-0 as Power sends it in from the right-hand side once more. This time it's Kyogo back there winning the header at the near post. Down goes Armstrong at the edge of the penalty area, and Kilmarnock will have a free kick now in a very, very promising position, left of centre, just 2 or 3 yards outside the penalty area. And this is an opportunity, Cammy, for Kilmarnock to equalise.
Yeah, brilliant again from Danny Armstrong. A good defensive header from Celtic away from the corner out to the edge of the box. Danny Armstrong picks up the ball on his left foot, jinks by one, and then gets taken out. But this is really dangerous, Al. This is sort of 20-25 yards from goal, just left of the goal. So yeah, we're looking. I don't know if Danny Armstrong looks as if he's shaping up to hit it.
They really should be putting somebody a couple of yards off the wall just to block Joe Hart, and make it more difficult for him. With these conditions also, anything can happen here.
Yeah, a sort of low one skidding off the turf as well could be tricky for a goalkeeper in these conditions. Vassell is standing over it, but he has left it. It's curled in by Armstrong, but straight off the wall comes back to him, and that's blocked as well. It's a poor effort in the end from Armstrong, who has been bright in the game but couldn't test Celtic there. But the ball comes back in to the Celtic penalty area again. They've worked it clear. Vassell though picks up for Killy. Armstrong again hits the deck, can't get past Juranovic as the referee plays on, and then he dives in. It's going to be a throw-in. Celtic fans howling for a free kick with a challenge on Juranovic. That throw-in is awarded by Willie Collum, but a fairly hectic start to this second half, but it remains Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, a real cup tie, isn't it? You know, and that's what you want. The conditions have helped, but it's the players themselves, the application from the Kilmarnock players, really in and about Celtic, not allowing them to settle, to almost get control of the game as they did in that first half with that possession stat that we heard from. So they've done well.
Yeah, I think the high press as well from Kilmarnock. Again, the conditions play a huge part, don't get me wrong. Celtic can't get in the rhythm of playing their passes and zipping the ball about, but Kilmarnock have pressed really high and stole it off them 2 or 3 times in the Celtic half. So if they can continue to do that, they will get opportunities.
Celtic come forward. Their victory here last season was their 20th triumph in the League Cup, looking to make that 21 before 2023 is too much older, as Moy slips it through looking for Jota. Crescent gets in the way, but Jota picks up possession right hand side, back to Moy, midway inside the Killie half. Jota once more, Crescent sticking with him. Juranovic plays the 1-2 with Jota, comes in field midway inside the Killie half, touches it back to McGregor. Now it's with Bernabei, finds Maida out there on the far side. Bernabei was caught, but Maida picks up and continues, as Willie Collum was happy for play to continue. Then Kilmarnock won it back, played up towards Vassell, but he can't keep it, and Starfelt does well to turn it back to Joe Hart. Hate scare him start to the second period. We've played 10 minutes of it already, and it's 1-0 Celtic. Here's a Tati, about 35 yards from goal, goes for goal, it's deflected just wide, and it will be a Celtic corner. Hatati looked up and his eyes lit up as he went for goal, but it's deflected beyond the far post. And it will be a Celtic corner. 1-0.
Great pass to Hatati, who had picked up the position between the lines, and you're right, that little deflection had Sam Walker scrambling across his goal. But it's a great tempo to this game so far in the second half.
Still the torrential rain teams down on the Hampden surface as Moy swings it in from the left hand side. Maida can't make it at the near post, comes off a Kilmarnock head. I think it was Mayo instead. Celtic they'll pick up just at the edge of the penalty area. It's McGregor trying to squeeze it back out to Moy. It comes off the referee, and play will have to be halted, and it will resume once more. The Celtic drop ball about 30 yards from the Kilmarnock goal. Kilmarnock will try and regroup as Callum McGregor just exchanges a little word with Willie Collum, and smile from the Celtic captain. I think he has too many hard feelings towards Willie Collum for his intervention there. Celtic restart things. It's back with Starfelt on the halfway line. Hatati, Carter Vickers picks up just inside Kilmarnock territory, out to the right hand side. Juranovic, clever ball infield for Hatati, just in the edge of the box, breaks for Moy. Moy quickly challenged though by Armstrong, who's done well, can't keep a hold of it, and it's going to go out for a throw-in over on the far side. Armstrong was looking for a free kick, but it's not forthcoming. Celtic throw-in midway inside the Kilmarnock half, left hand side, quickly taken to Moy. Moy's ball forward is cut out and thumped forward way downfield, and now Celtic will have the throw in midway inside their own half, left hand side, quickly taken to Joe Hart by Starfelt, who's got it back, turns it back to his goalkeeper once more inside his penalty area this time. Bernabei steps forward, Kyogo again coming deep, and he's lost possession inside his own half. It's good scrapping there, Kyogo battling away though to win it back momentarily, and now it's Armstrong right hand side for Killie, knocked out of play by Maida.
Again, brilliant by Joe Wright, follows him all the way and then just steals the ball back off him, and that's what I'm talking about, the pressure high up the pitch from Kilmarnock. They've been really engaging with the Celtic when they've got the ball, so that's won them a possession in the Celtic half, and they need to continue doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work required, isn't it, from the opposing side when Celtic are your opposition. Here's Carter Vickers with possession. Jota comes in field, and again it's come off Willie Collum. The Celtic fans aren't happy. I don't think the referee can do too much to get out of the way of that.
No chance. A disguised pass from Jota took everybody by surprise, but the referee will get the stick, no doubt.
It's par for the course. Here's Jota left hand side as play resumes. Celtic pressing for a second goal that might just put the game beyond Kilmarnock. Both managers at the edge of their technical area, absolutely soaked to the skin out there.
January in Glasgow. Never likely to be anything but torrential rain as Celtic press once more towards the edge of the Kilmarnock penalty area. It's back with Juranovic though. Rory McKenzie trying to shut off the angles. Flicked forward by Kyogo down the right. It goes to Moy. Moy tracked by Polworth, trying to turn one way then the other away from the Kilmarnock substitutes. And in the end has to go back to the halfway line to Carter Vickers, who in turn goes back the way to Joe Hart. Almost an hour played. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. Daisen Maeda with the only goal of the game so far in that first period. Jota has it. Back to Carter Vickers on the halfway line and out to Juranovic right hand side. There he finds Jota just in the edge of the box. Into Hatate it goes 18 yards out, spinning one way then the other. Can't find a way through. Callum McGregor quickly closed down, but he does get the pass off. Here's a chance for Maeda. Great goal! Daisen Maeda! A wonderful finish into the top corner. And surely now Celtic's place in the final is secure. It's Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0.
Wow, it's a wonderful goal, and just checking to see if he's straight offside, but the passing around the edge of the box, the skill, the technique, and a little penetrating pass for in behind the right back, and there was Maeda. What a finish, top corner, goalkeeper, no chance.
Yeah, it's an absolutely wonderful goal on behalf of Celtic. Great little 1-2s at the edge of the box, and that reverse pass is phenomenal. And the finish, as you say, Pat, right in the top corner, goalkeeper no chance, and that looks as if it would be game over.
Yeah, and listen, the tempo was brilliant in the second half from both teams. Obviously Kilmarnock putting Celtic under pressure in the middle of the pitch, pressing them high, but Celtic with that ability in the final third, just been able to play those little neat accurate passes, all linking up, good technical players, and when they played it in Maeda, what a finish.
Was it Kyogo with a little flick around the corner?
Yeah.
That was an absolute fantastic piece of play from him. Perfect timing, great run, great finish.
The goal, as ever, has been checked, but it looks absolutely perfect from our vantage point and also on the replays. And Daisen Maeda, who got the opening goal, now has 8 for the season, a double this afternoon at Hampden. And Celtic well on their way to a Hampden return next month.
Obviously it's taken a bit of time, this, it must be pretty tight, but you know, it's there. They'll be looking at all sorts of all angles at the moment to make sure. Oh, he's going to look at it.
Oh, he's given offside.
I've been told to go and look at it.
No, he's given offside. I think it's Kyogo. Yeah, Kyogo was offside in the build-up we're hearing. And so that wonderful goal from Daisen Maeda will not count, and Kilmarnock can breathe again. And we're looking at the monitor, and look how close that is.
Yeah, just his foot. You can see his foot's straying offside there, and a huge slice of luck for Kilmarnock there, because it was a fantastic phase of play from Celtic and a great goal, but maybe that's just a little bit of luck Kilmarnock need.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, that's what VAR's for, to get the big moments right, and they've called it. You know, in normal circumstances without VAR, I don't think anybody would be calling that goal offside. So
here come Kilmarnock looking to take advantage of that. But Carter Vickers sliding in, brilliant interception from him. Poor pass in the end, but imperious defending. But Celtic with 2 goals chopped off in this second half already. Hatate and then Maeda denied a quite brilliant goal. And so it's back to Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. It's such a marginal decision, it has to be said. The line's almost touching, but not quite, not close enough. And Celtic do not get the benefit of the doubts in this case. And so they just have the 1 goal advantage as Moy picks up and finds Jota. But it's the type of intricate, quick passing we've come to see and appreciate from Celtic this season and last under Ange Postecoglou. Almost unstoppable when they're in full flow. Here they come once more. Shot from the edge of the box is charged down. Here they come again. Maeda's tail is up despite having been denied that goal. And he's on his side. Corner kick off Lewis Mayo.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to stop Celtic because they've got that quality all across that front line, and the midfielders joining in when they're playing those little passes and movement. And you've got to get a bit of luck on your side. You've got to get a tackle and a block, do something, and not to stop them.
Corner kick is taken short. Moy then knocks it in to Bernabei, but he's lost out to Vassell. Vassell though gives it up to Jota. Jota inside the penalty area. Now it's Maida once more looking for a way to go. Has to go back the way. Bernabei flicks it into the penalty area. Diving header clear as Kilmarnock desperately try to clear the lines. And Celtic will come again, and it's a throw-in down near the corner flag. 64 minutes played at Hampden Park. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. Celtic with 2 goals disallowed in the second half for offside.
Well, the ascendancy is what Celtic, and they're pinning Kilmarnock back now to the edge of their 18-yard box. They've got lots of possession of the ball. The tempo looks as if it's gone up a little bit from Celtic also in the second half.
Yeah. Kilmarnock just need to weather the storm. They need full concentration, discipline. Celtic are going to see a lot of the ball, but they need to reduce the opportunities that Celtic can get towards the Kilmarnock goal.
Here is Cameron Carter-Vickers stepping forwards up to the edge of the penalty area, goes for goal, and might have been better advised not to. It's high and wide from Carter-Vickers. He was entitled though, Packy. I mean, the way it opened up for him, entitled to take the shot on.
Yeah, we've seen him do that in the past. I think I've seen one at Parkhead where he got a deflection actually, and it took it over the top of the goalkeeper early on in his Celtic career. So he was very, very well advised to go and try in these conditions especially.
Yeah, and you can see that's Derek McInnes' tactics, because he's all of sort of 30 yards from goal. Nobody's going near him. They don't want to leave their men they're marking, so they're allowing the centre halves to bring it forward, and even if they're in shooting distance, allowing them to shoot.
Celtic pick up once more. It's Juranovic out to the near side, just inside his own half. Derek McInnes trying to get a message on to Kyle Vassell there. As Celtic come forward, it's Juranovic up to the edge of the penalty area. Jota left hand side on the angle, cuts in away from Mayo. Still Mayo sticks with him though. Jota tries to get the cross and it's headed away. Polworth picks up right hand side and knocks it forward. Kilmarnock finding it difficult at the moment to get out of their own half, and they've given up possession once more. It's Moy. Moy knocks it back. It's Hattati picking up. Now Jota left hand side up towards the edge of the penalty area. Slides it forward looking for Moy, but that will comfortably trickle out of play. Kilmarnock just see it over the goal line. It will be a Kilmarnock goal kick. 66 on the clock. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, Kilmarnock just need that sort of break. Celtic have so much possession and good possession trying to penetrate the Kilmarnock goal, but they've dug in deep. They've kept their discipline, their shape, so they just need to buy some time. They need to get up the pitch a little bit. Christian Doyd needs to buy them a few free kicks up the pitch and try and keep possession when they do get it.
Here comes Rory McKenzie. As the Kilmarnock do try to make some inroads at the other end. It's Danny Armstrong right hand side now, cutting in off that right ball into the box, and the left foot's cleared by Starfelt, picked up again though by Kelly. It's Crescent to the left hand side, and now Vassell left hand side of the box. He's dummied away from a couple of players, gets the shot in, comes off Starfelt, it's come to the back post and into the side netting, and some of the Kilmarnock fans thought that had rippled the back of the net from Danny Armstrong, but as it turned out it was into the side net only, and it remains Celtic 1, Killie 0.
Oh, what a chance, a deflection. Vassell had opened up for him. I thought he tried at the shot at goal. The deflection took it over the Celtic defenders, and there was Armstrong coming in at the back post, and just a goal open up for him, and he's just, I think he was stretching, but the chance was there, Cammy.
Yeah, huge opportunity again. It's Vassell, he's just sold the dummy, and both Celtic defenders went down the line. He's checked inside, great ball when it's shot come cross into the box, and Starfelt's got it all wrong, but just going away from Danny Armstrong. So unlucky for Kilmarnock.
Yeah, that's a big chance though, and Armstrong with 8 goals already for the season might feel he should have added another to that tally. He's certainly been their most potent attacking threat over the course of the season. As Jota picks up though for Celtic, still looking for a second goal to put the game beyond Kilmarnock. Jota left hand side, closed down though quickly, and Kilmarnock fighting for their League Cup lives out there to stay in the game and hope that they can just get that one more opportunity that might draw them level. Here's Moy down at the corner flag for Celtic, rolls it into Jota, left-hand side of the penalty area. Maida leaves it, it's Juranovic, tries to slot it, it's just wide of goal from Juranovic. Really nice idea from Juranovic, just trying to catch Walker out at his near post, but it's just a yard the wrong side of the post as far as Josip Juranovic is concerned. It remains Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, too much room given to Selly down in the Kilmarnock's right back position, and eventually they get the ball across to Juranovic on the opposite side, and he tried to slot it. I think the goalkeeper had it covered. I think he had the post covered, and maybe a little bit of bend in the ball rather than side foot straight.
Yeah, he's got it too straight, he's not got any turn in the ball. Again, I think Kazin does well, takes up a good position, and Walker has that one covered.
Celtic pick up on the halfway line, 1-0 they lead, just beyond the three-quarter point in the game. But while it's still 1-0, even a team as controlling and as ominous as Celtic are as an attacking force will know that 1-0 is not necessarily enough. As Starfelt steps forward and finds Moy. Now Hatate, left-hand side, forced back the way to Carter Vickers. Kilmarnock with everyone behind the ball.
Well, you know the Celtic are just going to keep playing the same way, passing 1-2 touch passing, trying to move it, trying to create their little chance, the opening, and hopefully to get that second goal. But Kilmarnock have just got to hang in there. They've got to keep defending and defending really, really strong, keep their concentration levels, because they will get in their chance in this game.
Throwing Celtic down near the corner flag on their left flank, but it's gone back out of play, and it'll be a Kilmarnock throw in this time, just about 20 yards, 15-20 yards away from the corner flag. On their right flank, Lewis Mayo, the on loan Ranger, to take it. Kilmarnock still in the cup tie, desperately hoping that they can make it back here next month. And it's looking more and more unlikely, but as I say, with the scoreline at 1-0, they will continue to believe. First time at Hampden in more than 10 years since that famous 2012 cup final that Cammy played in. It's been given away in the middle of the park by Bernabei. Forward come Kilmarnock, looking to try and take advantage of it. It's curled towards goal. It looked maybe a little bit closer as it left the boot of Danny Armstrong than it did as it flew past the right hand post of Joe Hart, who always looked comfortable it was going wide.
Yeah, he did. Again, it's another huge warning sign for Celtic. Sloppy again, gave the ball away under no pressure, and Danny Armstrong picked up. It's not a man you want to give the ball to. Checked inside for me, had the right to take the opportunity on, just didn't get it right, and shot was off target.
Yeah, just didn't get the whip he wanted on the left foot effort, and it was a good few yards wide of Joe Hart's right hand post in the end.
That's been 2 or 3 again, even in this half, especially the first half. There was a couple as well.
Here comes Celtic through Maida across the space of goal, and Sam Walker dives inside his 6-yard box to pounce on the loose ball. It was Maida clear, as he was for the opening goal for Celtic last week at Celtic Park. This time he couldn't pick out Jota or Kyogo, and Sam Walker did well at his near post.
Yeah, much better goalkeeping this occasion from Sam Walker at that near post, where last week he came out and was flapping and didn't get there.
Here's Barcel, 25 yards from goal, goes for goal, but drags his shot wide. And just a few chinks of hope for Kilmarnock in the last couple of minutes. They have got shots away, albeit not on target, as Celtic can come forward once more through Bernabei, who's still, I think, to convince many Celtic fans that he is the answer at left back. Certainly Greg Taylor's absence is being felt, the former Kelly man. Here's Hatate on the goal line, just managing to keep it in, knocks it back for Moy across goal, turned away, Crescent in there inside the penalty area, and it's going to be a free kick to Kilmarnock. But again, that looked dangerous as Celtic prepared to make a double substitution.
Yeah, Hatate getting into that position right on the byline, dragging people to him and then trying to pick out, I think it was Jota, who ended up playing the ball across into about 4 yards out. But again, Kilmarnock defending well, getting bodies in where it matters, clearing their lines, not allowing Celtic, or Kyogo I think this time was trying to run across the defender, and the defender doing well.
So Kilmarnock have made a change in the shape of Scott Robinson coming on for Kyle Vassell. Celtic are making a triple change, as it turns out. Abada on for Jota is the first of those. And we're going to see Matt O'Reilly come on, as well as Yorgos Giacomakis. Hatate giving way for Matt O'Reilly in the midfield. And I would guess it's going to be Kyogo as he trots over to this near side and is replaced by Yorgos Giacomakis, who, like Juranovic, has been linked with moves away from Celtic, but here he is looking to try and cement Celtic's place in the League Cup final, replacing Kyogo for the final stages of this match, and that will re-energise Celtic, you would imagine, Packy.
Yeah, well, that's the norm. It's a wee bit later than normal, actually. They normally make those subs on the sort of kind of 60-minute mark. It's a little bit later in the game today but it's fresh legs, and they'll be hoping to get that critical second goal just to take the pressure off them. But Kilmarnock again getting themselves into a good position here with a long throw into the box.
Yeah, 25 yards from the corner flag on the left-hand side. Crescent thinking about the long one. Instead he goes short though to McKenzie, gets it back to Crescent and back with McKenzie once more, right-footed into the penalty area it comes. It's won by Starfield. It's a good commanding header that time from the Swede, and it's gathered up by Maida, but that's a good solid challenge by Polworth in the middle of the park to win the ball back for Kilmarnock. Out to the right-hand side. Armstrong though can't get away from Bernabei on this occasion, and it's out for a throw-in to Kelly. What have we got to play? About 15 minutes of the 90. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0. Scoop forward for Polworth. Good challenge though by Moy going back there. Out for a throw-in to Kelly on the far side. The Kilmarnock right just a few yards away from the corner flag as they attack down the right-hand side.
Yeah, and this is where Kilmarnock won the ball last year. It looks as if it'll be another long throw-in into the box, so anything can happen from these long throws, especially in the conditions we've got here tonight at Hampden.
Ash Taylor lining it up then from the right-hand side. Giacomakis comes back in to try and help defend, but it's flicked onto the near post by Dodge. Breaks for Polworth. Where's that going to end up? It's a good save again by Joe Hart. It was Chris Dodge who diverted it goalwards, but Hart reacted quickly to push it away, and Celtic retain their one goal advantage. But here come Kilmarnock once more with their tails up just at the moment. Foul there by Maida, and Kilmarnock will have the free kick and another opportunity to send this one into the penalty area.
Yeah, and we just said that anything can happen from a throw, and it's a flick on, it ends up falling. I don't know whose feet it falls to, but it's a great save in the end up from Joe Hart. Real reaction save at the
near post. I think it was Dodge.
Yeah, Dodge gets the last shot, touching it there, and Hart reacts quickly. Here's the free kick taken. Polworth back out to the right side. It's Armstrong swinging it in. Celtic just having to defend for the moment. Polworth wins possession at the edge of the penalty area. Armstrong picks up, goes down. Looks like he was looking for that one. Yeah, he's told to get to his feet by Willie Collum, and that's a good decision for my money from the referee.
Yeah, I think it is a good decision because he was in a great position, and he just went, knocked it past Bernabei, and just kind of went down fairly easy.
Yeah, for me too easy. He's brushed on with his arm, but Danny doesn't need to go down there. He should be just trying to get the cross in the box and keep penetrating that pressure that Kilmarnock were putting on Celtic.
It's their best spell in the second half by some distance, Kilmarnock. Celtic still leading by a goal to nil, just over 13 minutes to play as O'Reilly picks up, and now Moy up to the edge of the penalty area. Giacomakis quickly and well challenged by Wright. Breaks out to the right-hand side for Abada. Abada up against Crescent, right-hand side of the penalty area. Can't find a teammate. Crescent picks up and plays it forward. It looks like it came off Abada as cross comes Robinson. It's going to be a throw-in to Kilmarnock right in the halfway line. Robinson, as Derek McInnes told us pre-match, has been suffering somewhat in the last week with a bit of a virus, but he's on for the closing stages to try and help his side claw their way back into this cup tie. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
He's always liable to get himself into a good position in the box also if something falls to him, and Kilmarnock really in this game they've done themselves really proud in the way that they've gone about it.
Power penalised for a challenge there on O'Reilly, who really for the first time this season finds himself out of the starting 11. He's been a mainstay under Ange Postecoglou since signing, but he's off the bench again this afternoon as he was last weekend. Moy favoured, and he plays the ball down the right hand side looking for Abada, but Kilmarnock have won it back. It's McKenzie deep in his own territory, plays the ball into slightly dangerous area, but Armstrong manages to squeeze it out to the right hand side. And here's Polworth looking to find Armstrong once more, but Maida steps in. Polworth again, no, wins it. And there's Mayo in an advanced position. Armstrong now, right-hand side. Celtic funneling bodies back. Kilmarnock trying to get players forward. It's Armstrong into the penalty area, but it's a tame cross into the arms of Joe Hart. And Kilmarnock really, possibly Cammy at this stage of the game, need to be getting more bodies in support of likes of Danny Armstrong when he's in that position.
Yeah, definitely. They need to start getting bodies in the box and filling the box back in. I think Danny's made the wrong decision there. I felt as if he was going to check back onto his left foot and whip the ball in. It was a tame cross and easy for Joe Hart to pick up, but great, you can see still the energy in the Kilmarnock team. Polworth winning the ball back, playing forward, so they've still got that belief that they can get something from this game.
Yeah, they've got to keep that. Well, it's still 1-0 and just 11 minutes left on the clock. They just have to give everything until the final whistle, because you can be sure Celtic are going to do exactly that as they try to see this one out. Many people thought this would be more comfortable. Here's Dyson Maida trying to make it so, but he can't keep the ball in, and it's going to be behind for a goal kick. Willie Collum is just asking Sam Walker to hold play up for a second or two. Not quite sure what the referee's indicating here. As Walker prepares to take the goal kick, and Maida makes his way back onto the pitch. Such energy, Maida, and he's been absolutely integral to their positive performances of late, and specifically this evening. One goal that separates the sides, one that was chopped off also, as Walker does take the goal kick over the halfway line, won by O'Reilly. Power picks up in the middle of the park, knocks it forward. Celtic return it through Callum McGregor, rather aimless for once from the Celtic skipper, and then Walker picks up inside his own penalty area and just knocks it long over the halfway line. Doige tries to bring it down in the chest. Carter Vickers is quickly upon him, breaks though for Polworth, and now out to the right hand side for Armstrong. Try to get back onto the left foot, infield for Power, midway inside the Celtic half, out to the near side now with Chrisen, about 15 yards from the goal line, looking to try and get away from Abada. He's done well, Chrisen finds room to get it back to Power. Power clips it in, Doige looks offside as he tries to bring it down, and then Joe Hart pounces on it. In any case, the offside flag was up in any case against Doige, and it will remain Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0 with 10 to play.
Yeah, that's always a problem for me with that late flag when it doesn't go up. You could see just a clash between Joe Hart and Doige there. If he had to come all the way, he knew he was offside. I think that's why he didn't come, really.
Yeah, again, it's very dangerous for me that if we don't flag early, that collision could have happened there. But I think you're right, Pat. Joe knows that the flag's going to eventually come up.
James Forrest is going to come on for Dyson Maida for the last few minutes. 9 minutes left of the 90. Dyson Maida's played a huge part in this game.
Yeah,
as it stands, he's the match winner.
He's worked his socks off too. It's his energy, his closing down, his pace on the ball, and of course then he gets the goal, and he gets himself into great positions too. So he's put a lot into this game.
James Forrest has won 5 League Cups. Didn't play in last season's final, missed that with injury, but incredibly, such as his longevity, Cammy played in that 2012 final where you guys saw Celtic off on that day.
Yeah, I do remember it. Listen, James has had a fantastic career at Celtic, and still a brilliant player for them, and a really important one. So he'll be on the pitch to try and finish this game for Celtic, but Kilmarnock are hanging in there, and I feel as if there's just going to be one more opportunity for them.
Yeah, they've got to believe that is true, but here comes Celtic, and it is Forrest leading the charge, left hand side, coming in to a central area. It's now Moy, 25 yards from goal, has to check back onto the left foot, curls one, and a good save by Sam Walker down to his right to turn it round the post. Good effort from Aaron Moy, but Walker equal to it. It'll be a Celtic corner, 8 to play. Celtic 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, good save, good responsibility from Moy. I thought he was going to pass the ball to Callum McGregor, who was left of his, but he's curled that ball round and was sneaking in just right on the post, and the goalkeeper using all his height to get across to make the save.
Moy's corner flicked on at the near post. Kilmarnock just managed to get it away, just thrashed it over the halfway line. No Kilmarnock players forward just at the moment, so Hart picks up and plays it short to Juranovic, out to Abada on the right hand side. Infield it comes to Giacomakis. Moy now midway inside the Killie half, good ball out to James Forrest on the left hand side, running it Mayo tries the shot, comes back off Mayo and breaks for Moy, and then O'Reilly. Juranovic joins the attack, tries to stand it up towards the back post. Taylor gets the header clear to the edge of the penalty area. Polworth helps it on. Kilmarnock looking to try and feed the ball forward for Scott Robinson. Breaks kindly for Doidge. It was a poor first touch for Doidge, and he knocks it out of play. It'll be a Celtic throw-in. We've got under 7 minutes left here at Hampden, and Celtic still have the slender advantage thanks to Dyson Maida's first half goal.
Yeah, I fully expected Celtic, when they got that first goal, to go and really take this game and build on that and try and get a few more goals. But credit to Kilmarnock, they've really gone about their business well today. When I compared to last week, no huge difference.
Yeah, Kilmarnock have been really good today. They've been very disciplined. Derek McInnes, for me, has got his tactics spot on, but they've also offered that threat going forward. The only criticism is they'll not put the ball in the back of the net when they've had the opportunities.
And they have had opportunities, make no mistake about that. 2 or 3 pretty good ones, you'd have to say, and they've just not been able to find that equalising goal. As Celtic come forward now with O'Reilly finding Abada, he lays it off neatly to Moy. Moy into Giakoumakis at the edge of the penalty area, plays it out to the left hand side for Forrest, who has to scurry across towards the touchline to keep it in. Plays it back now with Moy. Moy just in the angle of the box on the left hand side, plays it square for O'Reilly. O'Reilly looking to link there with Bernabei, who seemed to be hauled to the ground there, and he's furious with Willie Collum, who saw nothing wrong with the challenge. As Kilmarnock get it clear, they're going to make a late change, Kelly, as they look for a late equaliser. Ryan Alebiosu preparing to come on. And the ball still in play with just over 5 minutes left of the 90. Juranovic out to the right hand side for Abada. Abada plays the 1-2 with O'Reilly and back the way to Juranovic on the halfway line. Rory McKenzie trying to close him down. He slips and the pass goes away to Starfelt, and now it's Moy just inside the Kilmarnock half. And out to Forrest on the left hand side to run it loose. Mayo once more up towards the edge of the penalty area. Flicks it back to Moy. Moy about 30 yards from the goal line. Plays Forrest in once more. Gets onto the left foot. It's a cross, is a decent looking one, but it's too deep for his teammates inside the penalty area, and Juranovic has to retrieve it on this near side, the Celtic right. Plays it into the feet of O'Reilly, 25 yards from goal. Gets turned facing goal. Gets the 1-2 from Abada. And out to the right hand side it comes for O'Reilly. Tracked well there by Polworth, but does get the pass off to McGregor. McGregor bursting into the penalty area. Still he's going, Callum McGregor. Can he finish it off here? Can't find a teammate. The cut back. Juranovic is in there claiming for handball with the crowd around about us. Still Celtic come. Sliding challenge comes in from Mayo. Breaks for Bernabei. Loops it into the penalty. Abada's diving header's just wide of the post. That would have finished it once and for all. But Kilmarnock survive. It remains Celtic 1, Killie 0, 4 to play.
Oh, that was a big chance for Abada, but initially great run from McGregor, driving into the box from that position, past 2-3 players, and a lovely little cut back, and it deflects back to the edge of the box. Celtic keep it alive, and then when the ball's cut back, eventually a couple of ricochets to Abada, you would expect him really to hit the target, and it just goes by the post. Great play just to kill this game off, but Kilmarnock's still there, still in it. Great cup tie, I've got to say. I've enjoyed that.
Couple of changes then for Kelly. It's Jordan Jones coming on, as well as Ryan Alebiosu and Rory McKenzie, who was at the club when they won in 2012, albeit out on loan at Brecon. And off comes Lewis Mayo as well, as Alebiosu and Jones enter the fray for the final few minutes. The stoppage time to be added at the end. Maybe a good few minutes of that, I would imagine, maybe 4 or 5 in addition to the 3 we've got to play of normal time. Celtic still with a 1-goal advantage, but they haven't had it all their own way this afternoon. They have been made to fight for what might be a place in the final. And Kilmarnock still in the game with 3 to play. Throw in Killie over on the far side, the Killie right, into the feet of Doidge on the halfway line. He just knocks it forward. One for Robinson to chase. Carter Vickers will get there well in advance of him. Knocks it back to Joe Hart, who first time launches it up towards the halfway line. Giakoumakis holding off Ash Taylor, but Alebiosu's in to pick up for Kilmarnock. Finds Polworth, who in turn plays it to Power on the halfway line. Turns it back to Joe Wright. Quickly closed down by O'Reilly. O'Reilly can't get there though, and Wright gets the pass off to Crescent. Power now just inside his own half, fires it forward, looking for the run there of Jones, who just won't keep it in play down this left flank, and it'll be a Celtic throw-in. 2 left on the clock. Celtic 1, Killie 0.
Yeah, it was good play again. Kilmarnock very composed on the ball there. Good passage of play, and just a little bit too much on from Alan Power to release Jordan Jones. But again, Kilmarnock will be looking to get Jordan Jones on the ball, because he's another one that's got a spark in him. Will he get that opportunity? There's only sort of probably 3 or 4 minutes left in this game, and they need that last opportunity.
Could Derek McInnes have thrown the likes of Jones on a little bit earlier, Cammy?
I don't know. Listen, Jordan Jones is one of these players. He's got fantastic talent, but I sometimes question him going back the park. And listen, Kilmarnock need huge discipline within this game. They've done brilliantly, and I just think that he's maybe not been at it as much as Derek would have hoped this season. So that's probably why he's found himself on the bench. But there's no question he has got talent, the boy.
Throw in Celtic as the seconds tick down towards the end of the 90. Celtic with a 1-goal advantage thanks to Dyson Maida's goal after 18 minutes. Here they come through Lee Labada. He's offside though. Kilmarnock will get the free kick deep in their own territory as Abada's brushed aside by Crescent. We await the 4th officials board to see what will be added on in the way of injury time. Kilmarnock will hope the number is big. As Walker plays the free kick long over the halfway line. Carter Vickers gets something on it, but not enough as Robinson picks up left-hand side of the penalty area. Can he fashion an opportunity here on the left foot into the 6-yard box? Well defended there by Callum McGregor. Given away though by Celtic again is Jones, left-hand side of the box, up against Carter Vickers. Goes back the way to Crescent. Crescent takes on Aaron Moy. Crossing opportunity here. Can Crescent pick out a teammate? Headed away by Bernabei. Good defensive header. Alebios, who can't bring it under control. Power though picks up for Kilmarnock. 6 minutes to be added on at the end. Well, 6 minutes for Kilmarnock to try and find an equaliser. 6 minutes for Celtic to hold on. Here's Jones inside the penalty area. Tries to find a way towards goal, but Juranovic was in the way. Here's Crescent picking up, and O'Reilly makes the challenge. Crescent goes down. The offside flag is up, and Celtic take a breather. A bit of a sigh of relief for Celtic, because they have been under a bit of pressure from Kilmarnock in these last few seconds.
Yeah, Crescent's down. He went into a block tackle with O'Reilly there, and he's just come out worse. Whether he's twisted his knee or it's just the shock goes through his body. But he's put a lot into this game, this young man, also down this left-hand side.
Yeah, he's been very good today. Yeah, again, you can see the block tackle here. He's just went in it really, really strong, and probably taken a slight knock, but he just needs to grind his teeth these last 5 minutes and try and get something out of this game for Kilmarnock.
Yeah, they've got no subs left to make, so Crescent will have to just push on through for the 5 minutes of stoppage time that remain. Ash Taylor wins the header from Joe Hart's clearance. Juranovic just knocks it down for Carter Vickers. Back the way it goes to Joe Hart, the edge of his penalty area. Clears long, first time over the halfway line. Out of play it goes. Crescent is really struggling down there, hobbling away. The on loan Aston Villa player will just have to see it through as Doidge gets something on the throw in from Crescent. Moy though, and Power battling away in the midfield. Power gets the better of it. Doidge, and then Robinson can't keep it. Celtic pick up once more. It's Abada, but Abada's been slack in possession, and here's Doidge picking up. Can he find the teammates in a tight area? Power now plays it forward, looking for Robinson. Carter Vickers wins that particular battle. It'll be a Kilmarnock throw in. There's going to be a final Celtic change, and it's David Turnbull who's going to come on for the last few minutes of stoppage time, and he'll replace Aaron Moy in the heart of the midfield.
Yeah, I think Aaron Moy's had a good game today. I think he's controlled a lot of the tempo of the game. He's got on the ball, he's passed it as you would expect, and I think he's just run out of legs.
David Turnbull will provide that for the closing few minutes as Ash Taylor lines up another long throw in. Kilmarnock looking to cause a bit of havoc inside that Celtic penalty area, deep into stoppage time. Ash Taylor is Kilmarnock look for an equaliser. Willie Collum has a look at a claim for a penalty there inside the penalty area as Joe Wright went down under significant pressure from Celtic bodies. The Kilmarnock fans boo as the decision doesn't go their way, although VAR will of course have a look at it. Power tries to knock it down the line, comes back off him though, and it'll be out for a Celtic throw-in.
It looked very, very clumsy from here. Yeah, he looked as if he panicked and thought he'd got caught the wrong side of him and just fell on top of him. So it'll be interesting to see this one back.
Yeah, it's Giacomakis on right, and he just bundles him over with nowhere near the ball. But VAR have obviously checked that quickly and have chosen not to send Willie Collum across to the screen to review the decision. No penalty, and Celtic still have the 1-goal advantage. Here they come looking for a decisive second goal, perhaps. Looked to be impeded there as they were coming forward, Bernabei, and Willie Collum has indeed brought it back for the Celtic free kick.
Yeah, but it was good defending from the young sub. Just come on, Alabusi, he got himself back into goal side. Otherwise, I think Willie Collum would have let the play go on there, and Barnaby would have been through.
Yeah, I think Danny Anderson just got enough of the player, and they'll take a yellow card in that position, because as Packy says, that the Celtic player was running through on goal there, and it would have been a difficult one to defend.
Yeah, Armstrong caught Bernabei as he was going through on goal there, and it is a yellow card for the Kilmarnock winger. Celtic don't make anything of the free kick though, and they've given possession up, and Chrisen plays the ball down the left hand side, and my goodness, he's in some pain down there in these closing minutes, and hopefully that's not something that's going to impact him longer term, having to play through the pain barrier as Kilmarnock somehow try to fashion a way back into the game. Giacomakis holding off Chrisen does well, but Abada can't do likewise and hold on to possession, but Kilmarnock have presented it straight to James Forrest. Forrest slides it through, Turnbull to finish it, good save by Walker, but it's a goal from Giacomakis on the rebound, tapping it into the empty net as Walker kept it out from Turnbull, but couldn't do likewise from Giacomakis. It is all over at Hampden now, surely. It's Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any doubts that this goal comes back off. A good save, it does save from the goalkeeper again from Turnbull, but he was unlucky because he only could palm it into the path of Giacomakis, and he was there, as all good strikers do, follow up, get yourself into a position where you can score, and he put the ball into the back of the net. I'm not sure he's got booked for taking his jersey off, but he won't mind that.
Is that a farewell present from Yorgos Giacomakis? The yellow card is presented to him from Willie Collum, but as Packy says, he'll care not a jot. David Turnbull seen his shot saved from the angle, but Sam Walker could only push it out to a central area, and there was Yorgos Giacomakis to pounce for his 9th goal of the season.
And the 3 substitutions involved, when you think about it, Forrest, Turnbull, Giacomakis, all fresh legs coming onto the pitch for Celtic with quality.
Yeah, it was a great strike from Turnbull and a good save from Walker, and Giacomakis was just there to tap in from 4 yards. Yeah, listen, over the period, probably what Celtic deserved was a victory, but Kilmarnock have had chances, and that's going to be the thing they'll look back.
It's all over at Hampden Park, and Celtic are through once more to a final. The League Cup final awaits them next month against either Rangers or Aberdeen, but this was not as straightforward as many people thought it might be. They were made to battle all the way by a brave and doughty Kilmarnock. Derek McInnes wanted his side to turn up and turn out to be heroes. It wasn't to be, but they made this a really tough game for Celtic, who do progress thanks to goals in the first half from Dies and Maida. Didn't know too much about it as Adam Moyes' free kick came into the penalty area. Kyle Lafferty was at the back post, tried to send it behind for a corner. It came off Maida and beyond Sam Walker for the opening goal. Kilmarnock had opportunities to respond. Joe Wright had a header saved pretty comfortably, although he shouldn't have as much opportunity, Joe Hart, to save it from Joe Wright as he was given. And then into the second half, Celtic had a couple of goals chopped off. First of all, Maida denied a wonderful second goal by an offside flag against Kyogo in the build-up. And then Hatate, just prior to that, also saw one chopped off. It took into injury time before Celtic were home and dry, as David Turnbull saw a shot saved by Sam Walker, but there was Yorgos Giacomakis on hand to tap into the net to ensure Celtic will return next month for a place in the final as they continue the defence of their trophy.
It finished at Hampden. Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0.
The Scottish League Cup.
This is the